The first thing I want to do is share with you this Alan Watts video because he can explain better than I can why the mornings are so magical and why they can make or break your entire perspective and life.
You see, every morning is a birth. Not merely the rising of the sun, not merely the ticking of time that signals another day, but a genuine rebirth of consciousness. The moment you awaken from sleep, the world hasn't yet congealed into its usual patterns. It is still soft, still pliable, still waiting to be shaped by the words you say to yourself. Most people don't realize this. They wake up and immediately allow the old story to run again. I'm tired. I have too much to do. Nothing ever works out. Or it's just another day. And so, with these quiet spells of self-hypnosis, they cast the same old energy into motion. They rebuild yesterday with their words and call it today. But you, if you truly wish to awaken, you must understand the power that lies in the first few moments of your morning. Because in that tender space between the dream and the world, you are most powerful. The brain hasn't yet settled into the habitual patterns of identity. The subconscious mind is open, receptive, and listening. Whatever you say in those first few minutes does not simply echo its imprints. So, I want you to do something very simple. When you wake up tomorrow, before the world comes rushing in, say this out loud. Today I am new. I am not bound by yesterday. I am a living expression of the infinite. I am open to life. You might think it's just words, but understand your biology listens to your belief. Every cell in your body is an intelligent participant in your consciousness. The sound of your own voice, spoken with awareness and sincerity, carries a vibrational signature that reorganizes your nervous system. The ancient mystics and the modern neuroscientists would agree on this in their own ways. The mystic says in the beginning was the word. The neuroscientist says speech patterns shape neural networks. Both are pointing to the same truth that what you say becomes the architecture of your mind. When you say something out loud with emotion and presence, you are not merely reciting words. You are sending electric currents through your nervous system, broadcasting intention through your electromagnetic field, and sculpting your perception of reality. So if you wake up and say, I am tired, your nervous system adjusts accordingly. It prepares for fatigue. Your chemistry shifts, cortisol rises, and your brain tunes itself to a frequency of weariness. But if you rise and say, I am alive, I am filled with creative energy, life supports me in every way, your biology begins to mirror that command. That is not wishful thinking. That is programming. Every morning, you are either programming yourself or being programmed by the residue of yesterday. The difference lies in whether you speak with awareness. You see, every human being lives in two worlds, the inner world of thought and feeling, and the outer world of form and circumstance. Most people spend their entire lives reacting to the outer, trying to fix the symptoms of what they themselves have unconsciously declared within. But the wise learn to reverse the flow. They speak to the inner world first. They command their being through words infused with presence, and then the outer world rearranges itself accordingly. When I say command, I don't mean domination or control. I mean conscious participation. The word command here is not an act of force. It is an act of alignment. You are not telling the universe what to do. You are reminding yourself of what you already are. So, say it out loud every morning, not to convince yourself of something false, but to remember what's true. Because you are not merely a body that wakes up to face the world. You are the very awareness in which the world appears. You are the consciousness that animates all form, the silent witness of every sunrise, the timeless intelligence that breathes through all living things. And when you begin your morning by acknowledging that truth, by speaking it into being, the day itself becomes an extension of that awareness. But there's a subtle key to this practice. You must feel the words as you say them. The power is not in the phrase itself, but in the emotional resonance behind it. Emotion is the carrier wave of intention. It is what imprints the subconscious mind. So when you speak your morning declaration, speak slowly. Feel the vibration of each word as it leaves your lips. Let your voice be the bridge between your inner and outer worlds. Say it until you feel it. Say it until your body begins to respond, because your body is always listening. You see, for most of us, the body has been conditioned by years of habitual emotion. Fear, doubt, and anxiety have been rehearsed so often that they've become muscle memory. You wake up and the body expects stress. It remembers yesterday's worry and automatically replays it, even before the mind begins to think. But when you speak new words, out loud each morning, words of power, words of truth, you begin to recondition the body to a new emotional baseline. You begin to teach it how to feel peace, how to feel trust, how to feel worthiness again. This is not positive thinking. This is biological transformation. Imagine for a moment that your morning words are like music, and your body is the instrument. Each time you repeat your declaration with feeling, you are tuning the instrument closer to harmony. You are training your nervous system to vibrate at a higher frequency, one that matches the reality you wish to experience. Now, let me tell you something profound. You cannot attract a new life from an old vibration. If you want to draw in abundance, love, clarity, or peace, you must first become the emotional equivalent of those states. The external conditions will not come first. They are drawn to you as a reflection of your inner coherence. So when you speak your morning words, you are not asking the world to change. You are aligning yourself with the frequency of the world you desire. And once you are aligned, manifestation becomes effortless. You no longer chase, you attract. The ancient masters called this wu-wei, the effortless flow of being, the art of doing without doing. It means that when your words, feelings, and actions are in harmony, you move with life rather than against it. You don't have to struggle or strive. You simply speak truth into being and allow life to respond. And this is why the morning is sacred, because it is the doorway through which consciousness enters form. It is the point of creation, where your vibration sets the tone for everything that follows. If you begin your day unconsciously, you will live unconsciously. If you begin it awake, aware, and intentional, you will walk through the day as a creator. So again, when you open your eyes tomorrow, before touching your phone, before recalling your past, before remembering who you think you are, pause, breathe, and say out loud, with all the feeling you can summon, today I am new, I am whole, I am in harmony with life. Say it again until it feels real, because that is how reality changes, not through effort, but through resonance. The brain, after all, is like an instrument of attention. When you focus on something long enough, you amplify it. You fire the same neural pathways, and by repetition, those pathways become more efficient. So if you focus on fear, the brain gets better at fear. If you focus on gratitude, it gets better at gratitude. Whatever you rehearse, you become. So the morning declaration is a way of rehearsing the truth. It's a form of spiritual training. You're teaching your brain to serve your spirit, rather than your past. Now, most people make the mistake of trying to change their lives by changing external circumstances, by rearranging the furniture of their experience. But the awakened ones understand that outer change follows inner realization. The moment you speak truth with conviction, your perception shifts. And as perception changes, so does the world you see. You cannot meet a new day with an old identity and expect transformation. That's why I say the words you speak every morning are not small, they are cosmic. You are literally rewriting the code of your own reality. Think of it this way. The subconscious mind does not differentiate between what is vividly imagined and what is physically real. It accepts whatever you declare with emotional intensity. So when you say, I am abundant, and you feel abundant, your subconscious begins to organize your perception around that belief. Opportunities appear. Synchronicities unfold. Coincidences seem to multiply, not because the universe suddenly changed, but because your inner state now allows you to perceive what was always there. The universe you see is not a vending machine dispensing rewards for positive thinking. It is a mirror, and your consciousness is the image it reflects. So speak not as a beggar asking for change, but as a creator remembering your power. When you say it out loud every morning, say it with the calm certainty that what you speak is already true in the timeless now. Because it is. You are the expression of the infinite looking back upon itself. You are the silence playing at being human. And your words, when aligned with that awareness, carry the authority of the cosmos. So say it again. I am whole. I am free. I am open to the miraculous flow of life. And then, most importantly, let go. After you have spoken, do not cling to the outcome. Do not look for signs or proof or immediate results. Simply rest in the feeling that it is already so, because that feeling is the proof. You see, faith is not belief without evidence. It is trust in the unseen process of becoming. When you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every few hours to see if it's growing. You trust the soil. You trust the sunlight. You trust the natural intelligence of life to do what it does best unfold. Your words each morning are like those seeds. And if you nurture them with feeling and attention, they must bear fruit. But here's the secret that many overlook. The transformation does not come because of what you say. It comes because of what you stop saying. When you stop repeating the language of limitation, when you no longer affirm your unworthiness, when you cease narrating your life as a story of lack and struggle, you make space for grace. Words are spells. The ones you repeat define the world you live in. So, my dear friend, the practice is not merely to add new affirmations, but to drop the old ones that never belonged to you. That's why the morning ritual is so powerful. It gives you a fresh slate every single day, a chance to erase the old narrative and write something new upon the canvas of consciousness. So tomorrow, when you wake, before the world remembers you, say it out loud. I am consciousness itself. I am not the past. I am this infinite unfolding now. And if you say it not as a mental trick, but as a moment of remembrance, something extraordinary will happen. You'll begin to feel lighter. The body will relax. The mind will grow quiet. You'll notice that the day begins to move differently. You'll find that people respond to you in new ways, that opportunities seem to appear with less effort, that time feels softer, kinder, almost as if reality itself is breathing with you. That's not magic. That's resonance.